Of all pomelos, Wendon variety is the earliest to ripen.
Its fruiting season is earlier.
Yes, it's earlier than the rest. The harvest for Wendon pomelos is around the time of white dew. This happens to coincide with the buying demand during Moon Festival, so they are the best choice of fruit for the season.
Many of us eat egg yolk pastries during the Moon Festival as well. Our own twist contains salted egg yolks stuffed in mashed purple sweet potatoes. The purple color matching with golden yellow is a true sight to behold.
Hualien is home to most indigenous tribes. During the period of white dew, apart from pomelos, millet is also ripe and ready for harvest.
It's the staple food of our indigenous people.
Yes, it's also time for the harvest festival, so people will use some of it for brewing millet wine.
When do osmanthus normally flower?
After the period of the white dew.
They start to bloom before and after the white dew.
Right.
Chinese people have a long history of eating osmanthus, don't they?
Yes, they certainly do.
Persimmons are autumn fruit. They are abundant during the autumn equinox. This is the season when they reach the peak of production. Since persimmons start to flower in springtime, by the time they are harvested in autumn, they are very rich in nutrients. This one is rather plump, and the belly flesh is spread evenly without any gap. This kind of crab is the most succulent.
Yes.
If you know how to choose crabs, then any day can be crab season, and every day is like the 15th of August.
And every day is like the New Year.
Every day is like Sunday.
Millet is very important to the indigenous people.
That's right.
Is it fair to say that it's the most important agricultural crop?
Absolutely. It's a staple food in our lives.
What's happening now?
Threshing. This is glutinous millet.
Glutinous millet?
Correct.
So millet can also be grouped as...
Glutinous and non-glutinous.
It's the same as rice.
Yes.
What is glutinous millet used for usually?
For making wine and mochi.
So they are made with glutinous millet.
Correct.
What about the non-glutinous kind?
It's served as rice.
You have it like rice.
Yes. The first planting season begins in February.
I see.
Then we'll harvest in June.
Ah, so you plant in February, then harvest in June.
The second season is planting in August and harvesting in November.
November?
Yes, we have 2 harvests in a year.
Do crops harvested from one season taste better than the other?
No, really. As long as the millet is fresh, it'll be delicious and full of flavor.
While watching the Harvest Festival dance, I saw some middle-aged women carrying millet on their heads. Am I right?
They tied the millet on their heads for the Harvest Festival celebration. It's meant as an offering to the ancestral spirits during the Harvest Festival. So, it's worn as a headdress.
What are you doing just now?
Threshing.
So this millet also needs to be threshed?
Yes.
It's just like rice, isn't it?
It grows as clusters of heads. That's why they need to be separated. Usually, it's part of women's housework to pound the millet.
Can men not do this?
Of course they can. Especially when it rains. Men will help out on rainy days when they can't head out to the mountains.
But generally, it's more often done by women.
Yes.
Millet will be washed away with the water.
The heavier grains will just sink to the bottom?
Yes, yes.
So washing millet is technically like panning for gold.
Yes.
Exactly the same.
It doesn't matter if it gets spilled on the ground or needs to be swept up because it'll get washed.
Is this going to be steamed?
Yes. It needs to be soaked in water overnight when making mochi.
So this is the steamed millet.
Yes. Now, we'll add pigeon peas and a bit of salt. Then wrap the millet ball with corn husks. This is a hunter's packed meal.
I see. But why blend in the pigeon peas?
Because their texture makes the whole thing taste better. They are fluffier, more aromatic, and more filling.
Is this wine brewed with millet?
Yes.
What are you doing now? Straining?
I'm straining to separate the lees for other use. The strained wine lees will be used for braising meat.
This works the same way as the well-known dish from Matsu made with sorghum spirit leaves.
Right.
This braised pork is ready. So it's going to be wrapped inside, isn't it?
Yes.
What's in the filling?
There's pumpkin, millet,
What else is there besides pumpkin and adzuki beans?
ground millet, and pumpkin. Adzuki beans are the filling.
Oh, got you. What a pretty color.
Yes.
It's golden glutinous millet.
With tangerine-colored pumpkin. Usually for religious festivals, this is the size we make them, this small.
Did you create this statue?
Yes, this statue was carved by me. I'm not a sculptor, but I put my heart and soul into it. The staple food of our Bunung tribe is millet. So this statue depicts our ancestor holding a bunch of millet and resting it on the heads of our young men. He's mentoring our young ones never to turn their back on the millet of Bunung tribe